Hey everybody, it's Kyle Minyard, Executive Director of Grindstone Ministries. September is National Preparedness Month. TJ's been sharing some videos, some other folks have been sharing some videos about what to do this month. Something I wanted to talk about is what documents you should have on hand, ready to go in a safe place, multiple copies. That way, if something does come unforeseen happen, your house gets smashed, your house floods, just any of those things that can happen, you have those documents available to you that you'd wish you had. And we've seen numerous times just your heart breaks for those folks whenever you see that they lose everything and don't even have a copy of their driver's license to go get help to prove where they lived. So personal identification, number one, passports, driver's license, social security cards, birth, marriage certificates. The marriage certificate actually come in really handy in one of the cases that we have worked in the past. The couple had different last names. She had never changed her name, but they had to prove that they were married for some assistance. Well, they didn't have any of that stuff, but they were able to prove it because they wound up finding a marriage certificate. Adoption death certificates, in case you've adopted kids, or death certificate if the loved one has passed away. Financial records, credit, debit cards, your numbers, copies of your credit cards. Don't forget to get the back, because those CCV numbers on the back of them and your expiration dates, and have all that available. Keep that in a safe place. You don't want people having access to that. Bank statements, pay stubs, retirement statements if you're drawing a 401k for our elderly folks that are out there, or a pension, or any of those things that you get, and your safe deposit box keys. So many times people keep their safe deposit box keys somewhere where they either just put them in a drawer or just forget about them and think, oh, hey, they'll be fine, I'll find them later. Well, those things get lost, and that's a pain in the butt to try to hunt down whenever you're looking for it. I don't advise keeping your safe deposit box keys in your safe deposit box. Bad idea. Insurance. So your homeowners, renters, auto, life policies. Make sure you have copies of all of those. The contact numbers for your insurance agents. Make sure you're talking to those folks. Medical records. Make sure you keep a current list of medications that you're taking. I know with some folks in my family, their medication list is basically constantly changing. So always keep that up to date. Renew that. Take the time to really do that, because it really helps. That way you know what you need if you lose stuff and can have that stuff on hand. It also helps first responders know, hey, these folks need this, blah, blah, blah. Your health provider, keep your phone numbers for your doctor. Make sure you have all phone numbers and contact information for all your doctors. Property records, your deed, your mortgage, your property leases, your home and auto titles. Make sure you keep your titles to everything that you have. Keep those things handy. Copies of your tags. If you have a power of attorney where you have authority over someone else to make decisions for them, make sure you have copies of that. Keep copies of your wills. Folks, if y'all don't have a will, and you have loved ones that will be here if you're gone, make sure you take care of getting that done. That's something that's really important. So many people don't take the time, and the burden that puts on your loved ones after you're gone to figure out what you wanted to do with everything. Take the time to write that down and get it recorded and make it official. School records. Some kids were in college and they had to be able to prove their enrollment. They had to have all that stuff. Pet records, more like your shots or veterinary stuff with your pets. Make sure you keep that on file. Utility bills, because if you got to go shut off your electricity and you don't have some of that information, they can't refund you or any of that information. It's difficult sometimes to work through all that stuff. And then, most importantly, keep an inventory of your personal assets. So your tools, your jewelry, your clothing. And I would really suggest either getting it on film and putting it on a flash drive or something. Just lay everything out. That way, if your house is smashed and it's 400 miles from here, scattered over that 400 miles for a half mile wide, and that stuff can be replaced by your insurance if you have contents insurance, then that way you can have a list of, I had a Sawzall, I had uh, uh, oscillating tool. I had a nail driver, batteries, hammers. All the things that you have that are expensive to replace. If you have insurance, sometimes they'll replace those. Um, make sure that you contact your insurance as soon as a disaster happens. That should be one of your, after you make sure that your loved ones are safe, make sure you contact your insurance and get the ball rolling to make that claim if you have homeowners insurance or renters insurance, if you've been affected by something. Um, if you're worried about floods, if you live in an area that's flood prone or has a potential to flood, um, make sure you try to get the flood insurance. In most areas that aren't high risk flood insurance is pretty reasonable, and you can get that. I'd really suggest you guys get that because it can make all the difference in what you can do. Case in point, down in the recent Love County tornado, the officer that we helped, uh, his roof was gone and he had wind and hail damage, but because of the water damage that come after the tornado ripped his roof off, they didn't cover his claim. We were able to, with you guys' support, we were able to pay for get his roof replaced, and then he had a little bit of money that could go forward and repair all the water damage in his house. So thank you guys for that. Um, I think that pretty much wraps up most of the things that we should have. Uh, it's really important to keep those things on hand and have them accessible. Don't just make a copy and put it back in a drawer somewhere. Put it somewhere safe. Put it at a friend's house. Put it in your cache. Put it in your bug out bag. Put it in your vehicle. Somewhere where you have access to it at all times and have that information with you. So that's all I got for now. And appreciate you guys and hope preparedness month. Just keep it on your mind and think about what you can do to be prepared. So take care.